Hey, everyone. It is the Let's Get Loud podcast with J and A.
I always feel the need to get really close to
I
the
don't know. We do
camera
that every time we
when
go
we're
live.
together.
Yeah,
That's what I
every time we go
do.
live.
I don't do that alone. What
Uh,
what date is this coming out?
August 12th, I think. We said we were going to talk about like doing what you want.
Oh,
Right.
doing what you want.
And I'm like almost flirting with the idea of like that
Mhm.
whole concept being a part of our show a little bit. Like, just like, know
Ooh,
what I mean?
okay.
You know, there's a lot that has come out, especially like with the Olympics and women, and
Mm.
like there's just like a lot
Maybe
there.
Olympics. It's an Olympic vibe.
Olympic vibe. I'm just really tuning into how we struggle as a society to do what we want.
Yeah.
I also have this person in my life that does not, she is tends to think that she is a nice person. That's a trait of a nice person when you don't do what you want and you do what others want.
Okay.
So I'm like, interesting. I think I'm a very nice person
Yeah.
and I do what I want. So I think that's like perspective. Like, it's like a way to convince yourself that this is the right thing to do. And I do believe that I'm not saying that not doing what others, okay, wait. As long as it's what you want to do what others want, that's fine. Like my mom, she's a people pleaser.
Yes.
I truly believe that the things that she does, she wants to do.
You think?
There are
All the time?
not all the time, absolutely not. But there are things, absolutely not. She has a lot to learn.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that there's no look to doing what you want.
No.
So as in, oh, well, if you're independent and you don't give a shit and whatever, that's you doing what you want.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Same as like people say eating what you want.
Yeah.
So people think that if you eat what you want, you
It
eat like
means
shit.
You eat
You
everything. You eat all
the time.
excessive portions.
No, that's perspective. So it's like, that's the part where I'm like, let's not judge other people's ways. Like, oh, I wouldn't want that, so you must not want that.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. And I think that I had said that at our girls' getaway because I said, clearly I have an opinion about being a mom and like just like all of that. And like I see Dia who's like, I want a million children. You know what I mean? I'm like, do you? But just because I don't,
Yeah.
she's her own person.
Yeah.
And that might be what she wants and how she thrives. So how do you know that you're doing what you want?
Great question.
You feel awake. You feel passionate. And it doesn't mean like there's a lot of that on the internet, which I totally support, that your work doesn't have to be your passion. It could just be a job.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine.
Yeah.
If you are fulfilled in other ways in your life,
Yes.
totally. Now, our jobs are our total passion and we
Yeah.
really love what we do.
Yes.
But we've created an income out of
Our
our
passion.
passion and
Yeah.
our want.
Yeah.
But I know that that's not the case for everyone.
Right.
However, hopefully you are excited about your life.
Yeah.
And that at least when you go through the roster of the shit you did today, that it's not just a bunch of things that in your mind you've convinced yourself that you didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Because everything that you're doing, you want to do. You might just have not connected to why you're doing these things. Right?
And some people, it's almost like they're in this like hamster wheel.
Oh, ben c'est sûr, c'est dur à décoller là.
And they almost, I think, first of all, some people haven't even actually untangled what they do in the run of a day, week, month that they want to do and what they do because they think they should do.
Oh,
Like there's untangling it. And then next is actually making changes to create the life that you want.
untangling it is actually like the visual that Tom uses for the unwinding want.
Oh, really?
Is like he says it's almost like one of those like ropes that like c'est tout mêlé.
Yeah.
And it's like it's when it's like that straight line
Yeah.
that it just like matches what you want and what you do.
Yeah.
And then you have to like un nu à la fois. And I think there's also the conversation of, I think for some they don't even think it's an option. So they live behind the convinced mind that it's not an option to not cook.
Yeah.
To not, it is. Maybe
Yeah.
you don't want that option. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
But then stop complaining because
Yeah.
it is an option.
Yes.
Like they're like, I can't quit my job. Oh, there is an option here.
Yeah.
And if you know why you're not quitting, then shut it.
Yeah.
Remind yourself of why you do what you do.
And then there's always the in between. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
there's quitting your job and then there's and continuing exactly as you are being miserable. Like there's about 47 options in between.
There's also like maybe a conversation. Like sometimes it literally freedom or a little bit closer to it is behind a conversation
Yeah.
that you've been avoiding, that you've been afraid of. And I really feel like until it takes a while before you are so confident in yourself that you even know what you want, right? And that keeps changing. That keeps changing. You don't know what that's going to look like. Reality keeps changing. Our situations keep changing. Even as our kids get older,
Yeah.
it keeps changing.
Big time.
Like what I want now is totally different from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
And we
it's like,
evolve and change as humans.
because I think our values change as
Well,
well
we've
as
had
life happens.
Well, yeah, we've had experiences.
Yeah.
Your life experiences mold you.
Yes.
And so then you've had that experience, and then
Yeah.
that might change your perception.
Yes.
'Cause
And then that
per-
changes what you want.
Yes. Like your
Perception.
reality is what you
Make it.
perceive it to be.
Yes.
Like 5 people could watch the exact same situation, and their perspective of what happened is very different.
How they would even like share what happened
Like-
would be different.
Like we need to just get rid of the right or wrong, good, bad. And we just need to like really look at life and be like, what do I want?
Yeah.
And how can I build the life that I want? How can I continue to work towards that?
Mhm.
It's not a switch.
Oh, no.
Like if a switch is not going to be flicked and all of a sudden you have your dream life and you're only doing things that you want.
Yeah.
There's things that you do that you don't, there's compromise. There's compromise in
But
life.
but you still want to do it and you know why. That's why you're not complaining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whether it's
Like there's
laundry
things
or
I do
whatever.
for the kids that
But you know why you do it.
Exactly.
You wanted to do that.
Exactly.
Because you wanted that for the kids.
Exactly.
Bah oui.
It's when you look at like the laundry, it's not just like the act of the laundry, right? It's bigger than that. It's like, I would like my kids to live in a home where they have clean laundry.
Yes,
That's what I want.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I
all
mean?
perspective.
Exactly.
And so maybe you're like, well, how do I start? And how do I know what I want and not want? I think that like whatever you're complaining about over and over, that's like, that could be something you could attack.
Yeah.
There's a lot of internal conflict as well all the time. Like, I know I should be doing that, but I don't want to and whatever. If you spend your time often saying that I have to, I should, there's no other opportunity, there's no other choice, that is something to look into because you are choosing this. This is what you want. It's not something that you have to do. It's something that you wanted to do. And do you know why? And so connecting to that can just like calm down the complaining and the like, there's more understanding why you're doing certain things, why you felt the need to do these things right now.
And what brought this up is I was sharing on our community group, we were doing a live coaching session, and I was sharing about my choice to consume less alcohol. And someone asked, did it bother you to watch Neil consume that alcohol? And the answer was straight.
Yeah, I knew right away. I
No.
could answer for you.
Now I also have the perspective of the experience of Neil and I have been together for a very long time.
Mm.
And when I decided to change the way that I ate, and I decided to move my body more, Neil didn't. And so I've had the experience of making changes that my partner also didn't make. But at the end of the day, if it would bug me in a situation that would bug me that someone else is consuming alcohol and I'm not, it's
mean,
because that's what I want.
Yeah, you want alcohol.
I want alcohol and I want the consequences that come with it.
Mm.
With every choice that you make comes consequences. Consequences gets like a bad rep because there's good and bad consequences though.
Yeah.
So sometimes drinking alcohol, the consequences, I don't sleep well, I don't feel great the next day, I
Mhm.
don't make, nutrition choices that evening or the next day. Those are some of the consequences. Some of the consequences for not having alcohol are sometimes like, maybe I'm not as fun.
Yeah.
Maybe
You don't have as much fun.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's consequences to both choices, and it's really choosing what you want, but
That day.
and it's not just, do I want a glass of wine? Because most times it's going to be yes. The answer is
Yeah.
going to be yes, but it's not as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's a holistic approach.
Yeah.
Do you want wine right now? Do you want to move your body right now? Do you want to
Yeah.
eat in a surplus right now? Like
Yeah.
when I go out to eat, my whole life is me choosing what I want.
Yeah.
But what I want is bigger than just the act of what I'm putting in my body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you are willing to feel sick because you want that option.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's fine.
Yes, everything is
It's fi-
fine.
Everything is fine.
That's the part that I think people really struggle to separate. What they want is they still have in their mind good and bad.
Oh, yes.
Even going back to the example of being a mother, right? There's like this like way that you're supposed to be,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good mom.
And that's a good mom. That's what a good mom does. That's
Yeah.
what a bad mom does. And when you,
They don't typically say that's what a bad mom does, but we know what a good mom does. So if you don't do that, then
It's not
what's
me.
left? No, it's Diaz.
oh,
So like it's like the bad, no one would say like that's a bad mom, but they definitely say what's a good mom. And then
Uh-huh.
if you don't do those things, well,
Uh-huh.
what's left?
uh-huh.
Know what I mean? And also, I think it's our responsibility to not be triggered by the posts of what a good mom is, and you know yourself that you're a good mom because of how you feel. Like you go to bed with your perspective of you. You know what I mean?
Also, if you are doing things just because you think you want to or should, you're going to be a cranky mom.
Yeah.
Like,
No one likes a cranky mom.
no, like the girls had a soccer game yesterday, and it almost like occurred to me like after I was like, didn't even consider going to their game
Yeah.
because I didn't want to.
Yeah. I don't want to.
I didn't want to, you know, and I could have gone, but then I would have probably been cranky.
Yeah.
And like, why am I here? I have shit to do.
Yeah.
I just spent 3 days camping with you.
There's other things I want to do.
Yeah.
The mom conversation is a big one. We should definitely do a podcast on, just like the whole, like, um, making everything about what they want and you actually forget what you like, what you want, not to mention like maybe a relationship you'd like to, keep growing, keep fostering. Because like when I hear moms being like, when they leave, what will we do? I'm like, but there's like such a list, like there's a big list of shit I choose not to do because I'm in this season of my life and I choose to do other things. But like, there's so many things that I'm like, ah, if I didn't have kids right now, I would do that. If I didn't have kids right now, I would do like but I'm like, but I want to sit here and be with them. And I don't complain about it. But I just I can't connect to like, what are we going to do when they leave? I'm like, there's so many opportunities when they're gone
So
to
many.
live your life.
So many.
You know what I mean? So many things we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alfie's never going to move out.
No, but he's at least not going to need you.
No.
No.
Very low maintenance.
Very low maintenance. Still already low maintenance.
So low maintenance.
So this is like definitely, I don't say a triggering conversation, but
I guess I just want you guys to think about what you want. Like,
and start like basically it's like just sitting there in your life and being like, do I really want to do this right now?
and it's okay if you say out loud that you don't want something that is like traditionally deemed good. Like
Yeah.
maybe you're like, I actually don't want to move.
I
I
actually, like,
want to
don't
sit
care.
on the couch.
Yeah.
I want to be
Yeah.
inactive.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah.
Like I want to
Yeah.
be inactive.
Yeah.
Even though you know that society tells you that you should be active.
Yeah.
I just start practicing thinking about what you want.
And like it never occurs to me that the shit I do has to do with Jeff. Anything I eat.
No.
Like it never, no.
Me
He's
neither.
just another human that I live with,
Yeah.
sleep with.
Yeah.
You know, we're building a life together. We had children together.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good human. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? We're like spending time with him. But when it comes to what I'm eating or what I'm doing, like everything is about like for my better, for me to be happier and better.
I mean, and for your friend, with your friends,
Yeah.
with your parents,
Yeah.
with your partner.
Yeah.
Like it really is such a
Like I have
personal
my
journey.
back. You have your back.
Yeah.
Like we have our backs.
Yeah.
No one's gonna have that for us.
You need to be the CEO, you guys.
Yeah.
You need to be the boss. You need to make decisions for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe you don't even know what your standards are, what your values are, like what kind of life you want. And just know that we're really connected to that in our own lives, like so connected to that. And sometimes I'm so shocked by hearing people that are so disconnected. Like I'm like, oh, there was like this supper. This is a great example. There was like this supper that they were all going, and it was a Saturday night, all the skaters and their moms. And I was like, I don't want to. It's Saturday date night. And I just spent 5 days in the arena already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't want to. So what I did is and then I said out loud, like, sorry, girls, like, sorry, moms, like it's date night, like not letting go of date night to go to Saint Hubert,
Yeah.
to like whatever. And they're like, oh, I haven't been on a date night for 4 years. And I'm like, oh, you're wondering what you're going to do when the kids get older? You go on date night. You talk to your husband. You know what I mean? You you foster this relationship. Go on date night if you want to. If you want to.
That's the thing.
That's totally fine. I'm not saying that's good. I'm good. I'm just saying this is what I want. Maybe that you obviously didn't want to go on a date night in the past 4 years because you didn't do it. So it's fine. But then maybe question why? Why don't I want to go on a date night? That's very interesting in itself. So what I did is I'm like, I knew Dia wanted to go, asked another mom, you want to bring Dia? So she went with other moms, knowing her parents are on date night. I think that's totally fine.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm like, she
Fine.
did what she wanted. I figured out how, because what happens when we're the mom, we still have to figure out how our kids can do what they want.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, I know what they want.
Yeah.
You know, like Noah wants me to go get him at noon.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to have lunch at daycare.
Yeah.
You know? So like, how do I figure what I want and
Yeah.
what he wants?
Yeah.
So I understand that when you have kids, but also often we forget what we want when you have kids. We do whatever they want. But 12C, what do you want? And often it's all like mixed. Can be a
Guys,
good mix.
Start flirting with
Yes.
what you want. Like
Yeah.
fall is a great season for creating some change, momentum of change in
Yes.
your life.
Yeah.
And are you living a fulfilled life? Like, are you living the
Yeah.
life that you want? Change is scary. Our brain is literally hardwired to keep us comfortable.
And do not think someone else's choices of what they want because it's deemed good. Like it's deemed good that I do weekly date nights, but if it's not what you want, like who cares?
Same, it's deemed good
Yeah.
that I cook for my
Yeah,
family,
who
but it's
cares?
because it's what
See?
I want.
Yeah, like I don't want to do that. She doesn't want to go on weekly date nights with
don't.
Neil. Like she does other things with
Yeah.
Neil, but you get what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't need that one-on-one like
No.
I do. Like
Yeah.
and so it's not like, oh, she really does this. She really loves her kids.
Yeah.
She really loves her husband.
Yeah.
Like F you. We love our kids. We love our husbands. Like it, you know what I mean? I think it's just like we do our own thing. We do what we want.
Build a life
Yes, that you're excited for.
that you're excited for.
Yes.
And when
that's
you
on you.
start to choose what you want, you will wake up with
Yeah.
so much less noise and drama in your brain.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing.
Yeah. And the only way to know is if you're complaining a lot. If you're complaining a lot, that means that there's needs to be change. If you're not complaining about bringing your kids and only spending time with your kids, then we're good. We're good. But it's if you're complaining and you're saying, I don't do that and I should,
Mm.
man, I never live a life of should.
No,
You feel like
or
every
have
day
to.
just-
Should or
yeah,
have to. Not
yeah.
a thing.
Everything I do, I understand. It's such a good place to be on in our
Really is.
lives. I'm really happy for us.
Oh, me too.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
Bye, guys.